Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
Greetings, family, and welcome back to Raising the Vibe. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. As always, I truly do appreciate the time and attention you put into watching my video. I would ask that if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, that you hit that subscribe button and definitely click that thumbs up button and give this video a like. What I wanted to talk about today is whether my tribe, Black Americans, are finally waking up and realizing that we need to do for us. By us, for us is what needs to be our motto, and keep other folks out of our business. And I think that this has been highlighted recently by the boycott of that Korean hair care company, Ebin, EBIN, however you pronounce that, where there was a video of a former employee of that company who came on and talked about how horribly they treated her at that company. And then the train started rolling and Black folks started calling for a boycott of them. And then Black folks started saying, well, those those Korean-owned beauty supply companies treat us poorly too. They're companies and stores, let's say, that are designed to attract us. They sell things that we buy. We are the target audience, but when we go in those stores, we're treated poorly, we're watched, we're followed, we're spoken to in nasty tones. How about we boycott those too? And then more recently, I think over this weekend, there was an incident with DJ Vlad putting his 2 cents in with regard to the beef between the musical beef, and let's really hope it stays at that level, the musical beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, and having a negative comment on one of the Kendrick Lamar diss tracks, and a Black professor from Princeton coming on and saying, you know, this is Black folks' business. And then DJ Vlad, the white podcaster, tagging Princeton University and attempting to get this young lady fired. And it's come out that the young woman is actually the niece of Rodney Jerkins' Dark Child, who produced Tony Braxton, all kind of people, very well-known producer in the music industry in terms of Black music. And people saying, cancel him too, which in my humble opinion, he should have been canceled because he's always outing people and causing people to get in trouble with the law. He should have been canceled. But the bigger question that I have is, are we finally waking up? Do we finally realize that the people we can trust are us, and that the people we need to help are us, and that we need to focus on us helping ourselves, keeping other folk out of our business who always want to monitor and be aware of and profit off of everything we say, do, wear, all the very cool behavior that makes us Black folk, that makes us who we are. Are we finally waking up? If we're not, this is my plug for us to wake up. Stop inviting people to the picnic. It causes problems. Stop. Well, I'm not going to speak on interracial dating, but the one thing that I will say about that is that it appears to me that Asians can date Asians exclusively, pretty much. Latinos can date Latinos primarily. Caucasians can date Caucasians, other than the white women who are often dating the wealthy Black men. But other than that, primarily Caucasians date Caucasians. But whenever we advocate that Blacks should date Blacks, we're racist, we're prejudiced, it's a problem. It doesn't make any sense. We have every right to have a preference for each other. And then for those who don't have that preference, I right now don't have a comment on it. but it is my suggestion that we need to really have a modern day green book, which was that book that they used to have back in the 60s in the days of segregation, which was an actual physical book that circulated among Black folk and told them where in each city and state it was safe as a Black person to stay overnight, because they weren't allowed in the white hotels and they had to have rooming houses, boarding rooms, that kind of thing, where they could go stay overnight. I think we need to have a modern day Black book, or whatever we want to call it. It can be a physical book if necessary. It can be a digital book in 2024, which is the digital age. And in that book, we need to have Black hair care products, not the ones who sold out like Shea Moisture and Carol's Daughter, and not the other one like Honey Pot, who sold out the company. And they make feminine care products, which was like a Black company making organic and natural products, and then sold out to the big corporation. Not those, but real, probably small business owners who are Black, who are creating products for Black folk. We need to list those companies that make ethnic, or not ethnic, hair care products for Black folk by Black people. We need to list the Black beauty supply stores. There are some in my town. I have been known to go to them. But I mean, in all honesty, I've been known to jump to the one that's 2-3 minutes away just to pick up something small, even though there was a time when I cut them off totally and would just drive across town to the Black beauty supply and stock up and then use that. I need to go back to that, and we need a list of what those stores are and where they're located. We need a list of Black nail salons that will do manicures, pedicures, lashes, whatever work of that nature that we need done. We need a list of Black lawyers like myself who service. I have some non-Black clients and I will service them as well. And I'm not suggesting that that's something that shouldn't happen, but I definitely service Black folks, and I'm definitely going to make sure you get the money that you're entitled to receive without somebody not caring about you and not fully pressing your case because you're Black, or skimming some off the top, or Lord knows what they do. And I don't want to make any allegations, but we need to know who the Black lawyers are and where they're located. We need to know who the Black doctors are and where they're located, because hopefully we've all heard of medical apartheid, these two systems, different systems that Blacks seem to be put in versus non-Blacks, and the way they disregard our symptoms, disregard the things we say, and think we're making things up. It's even worse for Black women, but it certainly applies to Black males too. As a matter of fact, I just saw a classmate who's also a member of the Divine Nine. I'm a Delta, he's a Q, and he was saying that for a couple months, he had been feeling some kind of pain in his chest region, and that he went to his primary care physician, who said there's nothing there. Did some tests, but said there's nothing there. He went to an ER that said there's nothing there. He traveled out of the country, came back. He and his wife agreed he would go to the ER. They ran some tests, but they didn't find anything. And he and his wife decided that he should visit a cardiologist. And guess what? Within a week, he was having a bypass procedure. The cardiologist told him it would be a triple bypass. It turned out to be a quadruple bypass. And fortunately, there was no minor heart attacks or strokes, no damage to his heart. But they were saying, thank goodness you listened to your body and sought out the care you needed. So definitely the Black physicians, be they cardiologists, primary care physicians, plastic surgeons, pediatricians, whatever, we need to know who they are. Really just a listing of Black businesses in every state and city, categorized maybe a couple ways. And this is an idea for somebody who might want to take this on. It's not to say that money can't be made. It doesn't have to be nonprofit, but there's going to be some digging that has to be done in order to know what the Black businesses are, and maybe categorize them by location in terms of state, and also categorize them by type of business. That's the kind of thing that we're going to need. We need to rely on each other. We need to start circulating that dollar in the Black community, having it stay in our community for 5, 6, 8 or more days because we're patronizing each other. Okay? This is what is necessary for us to make progress, because we have seen in the past that every time other people get involved in our stuff, they cause confusion, like DJ Vlad. And I don't watch him, I just hear his name all the time, but apparently there are other people like him. Somebody is calling an Adam 22, and they've named some other people. Any of them, cut it out. You've got Shannon, who was there, who's a podcaster. There are other Black podcasters, Joe Budden. Certainly there are Black podcasters. I'm one. You can come on my show and talk about what you want to talk about. There are tons of Black podcasters, both not as well known and tremendously well known, and everything in between. Let's start focusing on ourselves and raising up ourselves. And certainly, once we get to where we need to be, there will be room to interact with other groups. But a big part of the reason I think we've never been able to get our act together is because there's always other people either running the show, like creating and running the NAACP initially. There's other people running the show, being involved in the show, getting invited to the cookout, which is so old and out of whack that I won't even say anything else about that. And so it distracts us. And some of the benefits that we secure that should be going to us tend to go elsewhere, like to white women or to the LGBTQ and the rest community. And it's time for Black people to focus on Black people, to be trustworthy and honorable with each other, to prefer each other the way other groups do, to give a hand up to the youngster that is coming up behind us, to prefer Black employees in your Black business. I'm not saying that there's no space. You can have your non-Black friends and whatever it is that you want to do, but it's time for us to start having a preference for each other so that we can elevate ourselves. Because right now we're at the bottom of the totem pole, and with the way this government is operating, they're intending to even put illegal immigrants above us and push us down even further. And in order to stop that, we have to step up and take accountability and do for ourselves. There's a group of young Black males who are training to be peaceful, if possible, but to protect Black folk. And it's coming in the wave of protests and the murders of people who were stopped by the police and all of that. And they're saying that we need us to protect us. I advocate that, a Black militia. I think that's a phenomenal idea so that we can protect our communities, Black neighborhood watch groups, where we're literally going around and being available to call police and to be a deterrent to crime. Black businesses. We don't want to hear, oh, you had one bad experience, so you're never going to go to another Black lawyer, doctor, store, jeweler, whatever, because you don't do that with Target. You don't do that with Walmart or any of these other restaurants and businesses that you patronize. You have a bad experience, you complain, and you eventually go back. If you don't go back to that same Black business, find another Black business owner. Let's patronize each other. Let's draw a circle around our business and focus on our own business. And then at such time as we have elevated our race, we can talk about and consider how and to what extent we want to involve other people. I hope our people are waking up. I'm starting to see things one after another in a way I haven't seen before. And I am hoping that it is a trend that will continue. We need to protect us. We need to raise us up. And the only people that can really do it is us. What do you think? You think we can do it, or you think we're just going to do it for a minute and fall back to the same old patterns of inviting everybody into every bit of business and opportunity and anything it is that we want to do? And I mean, the last thing I want to say is that other people exclude us. There's Chinatown in pretty much every large metropolitan area in this country. And when you go there and go into those restaurants, there's no Black hostess. There are no Black waiters, not even Caucasian, really. They are Asian. They're Asian businesses with Asian employees. Don't pretend you don't know about white country clubs that still exclude Black people. Okay? They're around. There's still sundown towns where Black people can't be after dark. I'm not asking us to do anything out of the ordinary that other people aren't doing. There just is this double standard in which we participate that allows other people to prefer people of their own race for relationships, for business relations, for employees, for social groups. Because a social group that I'm in that's all Black recently, I wasn't there, but apparently recently allowed a white male to join. Like there are no other social groups that he can join. I mean, we just invite them into everything, we allow them into everything, but they're allowed to prefer each other and to exclude us, and definitely to limit to a token one or few those that they will admit, if they admit any. But we're all, ooh, he knows how to do the moonwalk. You can come to the picnic. I mean, like stupid stuff that doesn't even qualify you. Not, oh, he took down this predatory ring or drug ring in the Black community and we're inviting him. Yeah, maybe you might, if it's something that's significant, but the little idiotic things that we rely upon to bring other people into Black spaces just are insufficient and problematic, and they harm us. So I'm just going to leave it here. I'm hoping that my people, which I view as a different tribe, I don't know what anybody else's views are. I think that for Pan-Africans, that's fine. If they can meet and connect and get along, then great. But as we see every day, they're so busy complaining about us, not wanting us when we get there, coming over here talking about us. And I'm sure we play our role in it too. Matter of fact, there was just a big beef, might even still be going on online with Black British talking about how Black Americans have no culture and we're this and we're that. It's idiotic to me. But at the same time, Black Americans are uniquely situated. We're a unique group in terms of ethnicity, in terms of historical experience, in terms of accomplishments, inventions, and a whole bunch of other things. We are unique in terms of whether we're indigenous to here or maybe have some African blood mixed in or some European blood mixed in or some Hispanic blood mixed in. But we are a clearly identifiable tribe of people who are uniquely different from every other type of Black person on this earth. Let's come together. We have financial resources, intellectual resources. We have property, creative things. We have a lot of things that we can bring to the table. Let's get those Black schools going again. Let's keep HBCUs Black, because now they're being infiltrated by Caucasian folk. It's just time to close rank, people, and get ourselves together. We really haven't made a whole bunch of progress, really, in my opinion, since the 60s, which was a time our race created significant opportunities for our people. And we have benefited. I benefited from that. I went to a primarily white institution out in the Midwest as a trailblazer. There had not been many before me. There were not many when I was there. Now it's more common for people to be there. And it takes a toll, and you have to bear some burdens, but we did it, and our people have progressed. But since then, I'm not seeing the progress. In fact, I'm seeing regression, particularly in the case of our entertainment. As a matter of fact, I was watching a show. I want to say it was on, I don't know if it was on Amazon or it was on Netflix, but it was about the Black comedy scene and how it was created in California and extended to Def Jam and to Black comedians being allowed on stage in other places like DC, and having Black comedy stores too in those other places. And they talked about how, as a result of the rise of Black comedians and the demonstration to mainstream folk, that we definitely have money to spend in that area and we support our own. At that time, you were able to turn on the TV, you were able to go to a movie, and you were going to see Black shows, quality Black shows. I think that A Different World, The Cosby Show, Sister Sister, like a lot of Black shows that were quality. And we had Black movies that one could actually go see and not be ashamed to see your people involved in. This was well before those stripper club videos. This was well before rap went to the strip club and went to gangster rap. We have to get back to a place where we portray, we don't have a lot of control over how other people portray us, but we can portray ourselves in a positive light. We can refuse to take on certain roles that are just the former stripper, the hoe, the ratchet baby mama, the welfare queen, the drug dealer, the deadbeat dad, the unemployed Black male, the gangbanger, all of that. We don't have to engage in that. And we should no longer support Black folk who present that image. Come on, guys, let's clean up our act. Let's get our act together. Let's ride. We have regressed from the progress that was previously made by the generations that preceded us. Now, for my generation and the younger ones, it's time to step up to the plate and say, look, what are we going to do to help ourselves? We actually now have a new threat that this white supremacist system is using to try to push us down even further than we are now. And we got to rise up and save ourselves. Nobody's going to save us. No outside race is going to give up any amount of power so that we can come into power. We take power. We take pride. We start dressing, presenting, acting, creating in a way that demonstrates that we respect ourselves and we will accept nothing but respect from others. I'm going to end it because I'm sure I could go on, but that's what I think. And I think that there's space for a directory that helps us patronize each other's businesses. And there's space for conversations and efforts to portray us and to behave in a way that shows self-respect, helps to instill self-respect and self-love in our children coming up behind us, and says to the outside world that we demand respect and we will accept nothing less. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Drop your comments and let me know. And until the next video, family, peace and love and light.
Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.